Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about season 7, episode 3, title Hold My Hand as I Am Lowered. Okay, sounds weird. Air day September 28th, 2009, and the synopsis is
Nathan and Haley have to decide what to do about Renee's pregnancy claims. Mouth is asked by his station manager to investigate any scandal about Nathan, but decides not to tell his boss about the alleged pregnancy. Mouth and Skills come to an agreement about living together, and Alex tests the patience of Millie during a photo shoot. Meanwhile, Quinn's husband David comes to find her when she won't answer his calls.
that was a weird title.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm lowered or something, weird to the ground.
I don't know, maybe.
Kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. So Haley is still looking at that sonogram that Renee gave Nathan, and the pictures as well of them at the party.
You know, staring at it is not going to change the results.
Right. I think she's just trying to process it, yeah. And then at Brooke and Julian's, he's shaving and she has to go because she's late. And runs out the door. Meanwhile, Skills wakes up and gets out of bed. He then takes off his pants and goes into the bathroom as Mouth walks out of his bedroom, though he hears Skills' scream because what did he do?
He found something.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, the lizard or something like that.
Yeah, we just don't know what it is yet.
Right. And then there's a do not disturb sign in Alex's door for her hotel room. But she has, it's like, her door is slightly open because she's using one of her shoes as like a door stopper because she just took it off right there as she was walking in. And then
is that what she was doing?
It seemed like it, yeah. Like she just took it off while she was walking in and just left it there so the door didn't close. And then Millie gets there. And but Alex isn't even there. She walks in after Millie, which is funny.
Oh, yeah, it was funny because Millie was like, good, she's in the shower. Like, she's going to be on time. Yeah, she's going to be on time. And then there's Alex, and she's like, who's in the shower? And she's like, no, and I like to listen to it. You're not even there. What do you mean you like to listen to the shower? You're not even there. Also, all I was thinking of is, that's a lot of water you're using.
Yeah, that bill is going to be high, whoever's paying for it. Do you think Brooke's paying for it, probably?
No, I can't imagine Brooke would pay for it. I mean, she has given her how much money?
I forgot already. $250,000?
Yeah, quarter or half or something. It's a lot of money. So I would think that it would be coming out of there.
Right. Yeah, so Alex just wants to sleep, but of course she has, her job to do for the fashion line.
Yeah, she's not doing a very good job.
Yep, so she has a photo shoot, but Alex just wants to sleep. And then she pretends to count sheep. And
that was funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's when Millie tells her, if she's counting sheep, there goes her half $1 million,
Yeah, then she jumps out of bed or whatever. It's like, yep, see, money changes everything.
Yeah, but she still tells Millie that she hates her. And then goes to the bathroom to find out that the water's freezing, of course, because it was on all night.
I thought it was funny because Millie's like, that's why you should have turned the water off. And then what did she call her?
Just a jerk.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Especially she didn't call her like idiot or something.
And then we go back to Skills, who says Mouth is such a jerk as well. He says if he wants to, strip down and parade his business around, that's cool. He can go ahead. But this time he went too far and he crossed the line. And then that's when he quickly gets the phone from the table in the kitchen and gets back on the couch. He tells himself to stand up.
Yeah, and he's like, and who am I going to call? And it's like, oh my God. So then he calls Jamie because, a 7-year-old will know exactly what to do. I'm like, oh my God. Also, you know what I thought in this episode? Junk and Fergie must have moved out.
Yeah.
Without anyone knowing. Because otherwise, Mouth would have to be fighting with 3 people, not one person. Because if they're still there, it would make more sense for Mouth to move out with Millie
Yeah.
than to kick all of them out.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if you're only kicking, which I don't even like this. I don't even like that this is the storyline, because they're probably both on the lease, right?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
So I don't like how Mouth is like, I'll just do these immature things and you'll leave. His name is still on the lease. Like, if anything, he should stay till it's up and then, move out or something. But like, he's not even giving him that offer. He's just move out. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, did he ever tell you move out? No. I just think it's so wrong. And that's why I don't even like that this is the storyline.
Yeah, and then at the news station, Mouth's boss asks if he's friends with Nathan Scott and if there's anything going on with him. And Mouth just says Nathan is in a contract year.
You know what I'm thinking about this boss? He only talks to Mouth when he wants information on Nathan. Otherwise, he just leaves him alone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Mouth knows that too. Especially when he says that he saw a friend of his at the same restaurant having lunch yesterday when Nathan had that outburst in front of Renee. So
I mean,
who she is.
The outburst was funny. But yeah, how does he acts like he knows all this information? It's like, well, mister, then you should know something. It's like, you clearly know something. So what do you have?
Right. Yeah, so his boss tells him to check it out. And if there's anything there, there's nothing there.
Yeah, he's like, there might be a story out of there.
Yeah, and that he would be the one to find out.
Yeah, okay.
And then Haley's still looking at the pictures of Renee and Nathan.
This is what I mean. She just ain't letting us go.
Yeah, she's stuck on it, yeah.
How many times are you gonna look at it?
Yeah, so Nathan acts like, I didn't do anything right, because he's starting to worry with her staring at the picture so long. And Haley tells him that, he had his arm around Renee, and he says, he gets asked to take pictures a lot. And she says that his arm was around her at a party with a beer and a smile. I mean, they were pretty close together. Like, Renee was like really cozied up with him, but yeah. And
yeah, I think Nathan should take a piece out of James's book.
About what?
As in James Lafferty.
Oh.
Because I feel like he's very cautious of how he is around females. I think especially because he's married, so it's like, even with his co-stars, it's not like all up all over them like they may have done back when they were shooting, back when they were in their 20s, but he's very protective of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you should be, not this. Which is weird, because you would think Nathan would know that.
Right.
Of what to do and what not to do.
Yeah,
but I guess because he was drinking, but what's also weird is Nathan knows what drinking causes, especially to him, all bad things. I don't think there's ever been a time that Nathan has been drinking where it's been good.
Right.
Yeah, it's every time Nathan drinks, something happens. So I don't understand why he would even think about it. And if you're going to drink, have one drink and that's it. Because it's just weird. Also, he's going to go, okay, my other thing is too, he's so much about his family, right? Haley and Jamie are his world. Why are you at a party? Dude. You know what I mean? And this isn't a friends party, where y'all hanging out. This is a party that, your ass don't need to be at. That's my thing. Is would you really want your significant other out there partying like that? Like he is in college? No. He's a grown-ass man. It was almost, like, I was going to say 10:30, but no, that's just actors. I'm just like, just the simple fact that he is being immature. Like, if Haley and Jamie are your world, why are you at a party?
Mm-hmm.
And a party that none of your friends are at. Like, to me, that just, but to me, that doesn't even sound like a fun party. Like, if my friends, people that I could have a conversation with at a party, and it's not like awkward, like when you're around people that you don't know, it's like, like, I guess I'm going, or I don't know why. Like, why would he even go? His friends aren't there. His wife isn't there. It's weird, like no one is there. So why would you even want to go? Like, it's just, I don't like it because that's not the Nathan that we have grown to love.
Mm-hmm.
This is Party Boy Nathan, season 1 Nathan, where drinking and partying was what he did. And I don't like that because he's a grown-ass man who has a wife and a child, and he's out partying. Yeah, that's good. That's a good role model.
Right.
I mean, what do you think of this whole party thing? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's 25-ish right
yeah,
now.
yep.
I mean, that's still the party phase. So a lot of people are in at that age too.
I know, but the problem was in like season 2, Nathan was a 25-year-old. He was the one that was very mature. Or somewhat, like, remember he got married, but remember season 2 Nathan, he was very protective of his marriage and didn't care to party, didn't care to have a stripper over. It's like, then we go to this Nathan, and it's like, I don't like this one. Can we go back to the other one? Like high school Nathan felt more mature in a way than this one does.
Yeah.
Like, and what's weird is when Haley throws it at him of, I get it, you had a kid young, you got married young, which, I mean, he did partake in that. But also I was like, and she said like he couldn't party, and I was like, I don't know if you remember this, Haley, but Nathan in season 1, when you met him, he was a partier. So I don't know what you're talking about by saying that he didn't have time to party, because he got married and had a kid young, because that's all the boy did.
Well, that was before they got married. They got married at the end of season 1.
I know, but he even said it, I think, back in season 2 or something, that like, he kind of got it out of the system. Like, like he didn't want to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he changed into the, the married man, even though he was a teenager. And he changed his partying ways. He didn't choose to do all, he didn't care to go to parties and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't his first choice. So when she says that, I'm like, I don't know. Nathan did party hard.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot, because him and Peyton were always breaking up, and he was hooking up with people at parties. I mean, clearly he had his time to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't actually agree with that. Do you?
No.
Also, what the thing is too? If the roles were reversed, and I'm not saying for pregnancy, but I mean, like, if Haley had her arm wrapped around a man at a party because she was drunk,
Mm-hmm.
he take that. You know?
Well, we saw how he took it with Chris, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is like Nathan keeps putting himself in these positions, whether it's Nanny Carey or Renee. Like, did you not learn a thing to keep the, like, okay, from the whole Nanny Carey thing? His marriage was almost over.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you then go to a party and then be that close to somebody that is not your wife? I don't know. I just feel like if you were, I don't know, if you were at that low point in your marriage, you should learn a few things of what not to do. So I don't even like it because he should never have been that close to her or been drinking or been to a party.
Right.
You know, like at some point you got to grow up and stop using excuses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when Haley tells him that, looks bad, and I mean, is smart enough to know that, then he should be too. And then Dan is talking on his show about the truth when a man stands up in the audience and yells at Dan that he's a murderer.
Oh my God. Okay. So when Dan's face, was like, did you hear the, I don't know, other producer or something, like to Rachel, like, should we turn this off? And she goes, no, keep it rolling.
Right.
Do you think that was to sabotage him?
Yeah, wasn't that's supposed to be revealed later that she planned that?
Yeah, but like, she doesn't love him.
Right, yeah, no, she just using him.
Well, no, because she says like later how it was, she did it because he can't keep hiding the fact that he did it. And my thing is, first of all, he never hid that he murdered his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when season 5, he slept with that lady and he said that he murdered his brother, and she was like, what? Remember where she didn't know how to take it, like if he was serious or not, because he just blurted it out. He's never been shy to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says that, I'm like, huh? So that was how she wrapped it around in her head, was he just needs to confess and tell the truth. But what? Like, if I feel that if you love someone, you will want to protect them, whether they did something or not. So for her to just be like, keep it rolling, I'm like, yeah, you don't love him. Not that I believed it in the first place, because it's still gross.
Mm-hmm.
On all levels. But it was just weird. I was like, you're definitely setting him up. But also, how does he not understand that?
Right. And then at Close of Rose, Brooke had hired Quinn to be the photographer for the photo shoot, which is surprising because before this, we only seen her take pictures of the beach, like landscape kind of thing. I mean, some people too, but, not that, like, fashion focused so much. But Haley showed Brooke her work, so she, loved it and, such a fan now.
Well, let's be honest. It's probably cheaper.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it must be on short notice.
Mm-hmm. And then Quinn is also, a fan of Brooke because she wears her clothes as well. And then, she's just excited to work with Alex. And she asks what Alex is like to Brooke. And before Brooke can tell her the truth or even make up a lie or something, Alex and Millie walk in. So she says Alex is just like that, late and unprofessional. And Alex just says that she's late because she has jet lag. And Brooke doesn't believe it. Because
she came in a while ago.
Yeah, that too. And she asks if she's hungover and takes off her sunglasses. And Alex just says she needs her pills. And Brooke reminds her that she just got a rehab. Alex does text something.
She was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So, no, okay. And then she grabs her face. When Brooke grabs Alex's face, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, like a
child. Like spit it out. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like, what am I watching? It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And Alex just said it was vitamins.
Yeah, right. Vitamins.
Yeah, and even like tipped her head over to spit it out, and Millie just, instinctively just puts her hand out to catch it, and she's, disgusted, of course. And Alex just keeps saying the vitamins. And then Brooke aggressively then grabs Alex by her shirt, and through grinded teeth reminds Millie that this is who they're paying off, paying $500,000 to. And she makes Alex sit down in the chair in front of Andy to get her makeup done. And she tells the makeup artist to start off with a little line slut remover. And then Millie introduces Alex to a face cream, saying it does wonders for jet lag, but it does smell a little bad. And Alex tells Millie whatever. She knows she farted, and Millie says she didn't, and Alex says that's too bad because she did. Yeah, so Alex is just probably the most immature person in this show so far. Like making up lies like a little kid would.
Mm-hmm.
And then even throws her purse at Millie, and just completely being rude.
Do we know how old Alex is?
No, but I just figured maybe their age. I don't know. She has to be. I mean, she should, but she could also be under 21 now with her drinking and all that. But yeah,
I feel like she might be like just 21. I don't know.
Yeah, they never, give any close proximity to her age. Because I know she dates Chase there, so he can't be that much older than her if she is.
Well, but he was 23 dating an 18-year-old, so.
Oh yeah, Mia. Yeah.
He likes them young.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really see Mia and Alex being something age, but you never know. And then Jamie comes geared up with tools in the apartment to help get rid of whatever skills saw in the bathroom. And Jamie asks Skills what the creature looked like, and he just says that what's that magical thing called? He thinks they call him Puff, and Jamie asks does he mean the magic dragon? So Skills like, yeah, a dragon, but like Puff's evil twin. And Jamie thinks this is cool. And then Gills tells Jamie that Mouth knows he's afraid of animals, and that's why he did this.
Oh, it was funny though when Skills is like, "You think you can catch it?" and Jamie's like, "We can catch it," and he's like, "No, like you can catch it," because he's so afraid of it. It was hilarious.
Right.
Like he's literally like just pushing a 7-year-old in there to go get it.
And then Julian arrives with coffees for everybody, Brooke, Millie, and even Quinn, because he got to order.
And then Alex wants to know where hers is from the PA.
And just Quinn and Julian talk about the last time we saw each other at Jamie's birthday party, because he was making out with Brooke in the guest room that she was going to stay in. So of course that was embarrassing to Julian, so he said sorry about that. And she thinks Julian's like the PA boy, the hot PA boy.
Yeah, that was annoying. Yeah.
And then he gives her a hot chocolate, which is perfect for alleged drag leg. So we already, heard about that. And we're on the street that the entertainment trades really reads. Then Brooke tells Alex she has a little competition with him. And Alex tells Brooke that she's way too old for him. And she laughs for the snort. And then Clay meets with Nathan and says that they can give Renee $200 grand and signs a NDA basically. And she goes away and he has nothing to do with the kid. Nathan
It was funny because he's like, I already have nothing to do with the kid.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, so it kind of sounded like Clay kind of believed that he did it,
Yeah, because all Clay wants to do is pay him, and it's like, excuse you? I mean, okay, because in the NDA, wouldn't she have to give the money back if she says something?
Yeah, that should be how it is, because it's like that in real life, but yeah, I don't know.
But also the thing is, like, okay, let's say they paid her, and let's say she signed, and let's say she still said something. Yeah, she might have to get the money back, but in the meantime, she would ruin his reputation because she just would cause the whole thing to be out in the public. So that's the thing, is like she could still ruin his name. Yeah, she just broke the NDA, but she could still ruin his career. So I was like, okay, Clay. And I do not trust Renee. That's the whole thing too. Like, do you trust the word this woman says?
Right.
Honestly. And the other thing too, doesn't Renee kind of look like really older compared to Nathan?
Looks like what? Oh, older than Nathan, you said?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Maybe like she was a senior when he was a freshman kind of thing.
No, she just looks older than him.
Mm. Yeah, so Clay reminds Nathan about his contract that could be worth $18 to $20 million. So that's why she's doing this, at this particular time right now. And Nathan just says she's lying, and Clay tells Nathan that he knows the way it works. They print it on the newspaper and the retraction on the back. Nathan says if he pays me, then it's like saying he did it. And Clay
Well,
just
it was funny because he's like, Nathan's like, tell me you didn't just say that about paying her. And he's like, I did because I'm your agent. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then that's when Mouth walks up, and Clay says, "Great, here comes the press."
That was funny.
And Mouth asks if he can just talk to Nathan, and Clay's like defensive already, like protective, like about what. But Nathan tells him he's fine. It's Mouth and no friend. And then Mouth asks Nathan how he's been doing, and he says that if he's there as a reporter or as a friend, and Mouth says it depends on what's going on. So then he tells Nathan about his manager, wanting him to get a story because he heard about.
Yeah, but then he did say that I'm here as a friend. I was like, okay, Mouth. And like, here's the thing. Like, I am happy that Nathan said that because, Nathan is telling him, like, as my friend, don't say anything. Until the end. Which I was happy that he did that. Because with Mouth, is he coming because he's trying to get something? Pay raise? Or is he coming just as a friend? Also, it seems like Mouth has really only been coming around for this drama and not actually like with the group lately.
Yeah, so Nathan just explains what's going on. And Haley knows about it too. So Mouth actually is going to do about it, and Nathan says he doesn't know. And then asks Mouth the same question, but Mouth says nothing. Then says he'd be back.
So when Nathan tells him, like, do whatever you have to do, like if this gets out, I was happy that he said that because he gave him permission to now do whatever he needs to do to save basically his job. And that's the thing. It's like for Mouth and his boss, like Nathan did give him permission, So like if whatever happens to Mouth next with his boss, that's on him because Nathan did say, you can say it.
Right.
Also Mouth would say it in a protective way than a different reporter. But I was just like, yeah, Mouth, like you kind of ruined your chance,
And then before the photo shoot, they're testing it. So Brooke and Julian are having fun posing in front of the background. And Alex is watching them and can't stop looking at Julian. And, she's talking about his big hands. So she tells Millie, what that means basically.
Yeah, and she said that was Brooke's boyfriend. And she's like, she dates a PA, and then that's when she accidentally slips that he's a producer. And then she tries to, take it back, and she's like, nope, you said he's a producer. It's like, now you listen. That's probably what it's probably like. I'm honestly surprised that she didn't say it because I don't think she would have heard it anyway.
Right.
But it would have been funny if like, now you listen to me.
And then Alex remembers she knows Julian Baker, and that she heard that he was dating Brooke. And then her makeup is done, so she asks Millie how does she look, and the guy who did her makeup says she looks fabulous. So Alex really says that she wasn't asking for help. So she asks Millie again, and Millie is shocked Alex wants her opinion.
Oh, then what does she think Millie is?
I don't know.
Because Millie works for Brooke along with the guy doing the makeup.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess she sees them in different
You know what
categories.
you know what I mean? Like they all are working there. So I'm like, what? Like
Mhm.
Millie also works there. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so Alex says that she's the only one that tells her the truth. And Millie tells her she looks amazing, and Alex so says she does, or she knows.
Okay, and that's the thing. If you know, then why are you even opening your mouth?
I don't know.
Like why did you need somebody to say that you look amazing if you are just gonna go, I know. Like what?
Maybe she secretly just needed the validation and acted like she didn't need it afterward by saying that.
Well, it's like I need a validation, but if you say it, I'm gonna say, yeah, well, you're wrong. Like I'm not going, you're right. Like
Mhm.
I so look hot or whatever. Like, no.
Right, and then she's just such a slut, but I've never met a woman that actually like say that even in a joking manner, really.
Or happy about it.
And then she calls everyone bitches and tells them, that they can get started with the shoot. And the makeup artist tells Millie that he hates Alex, and Millie can probably agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dan is back in the show talking about the disruption from earlier. He says that the man wasn't wrong. And they're talking about the truth, and what he said was true. He is a murderer, and he won't hide from it. And just keeps lecturing on, about the truth and all that.
Yeah, and then they talk about Rachel
Mm-hmm.
and how she's his wife, and the night they met was so romantic.
Yep, and then we see the flashback.
Yeah, it wasn't romantic at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep, and the position that he sees her in was interesting.
Also, aren't you surprised that she was working there given she had a drug problem?
Yeah, I mean, you think most places would do drug testing, so maybe she was sober by then at that point.
But why? But Brooke got her to sober up. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, why would she, like revert back?
What do you mean?
Well, because she could get herself in a situation again.
Mm-hmm.
So, why would you be around temptation? I mean, you got perverted men there.
Mm-hmm. I guess she was strong enough, and maybe she just didn't really want to work anywhere else, anyways. And we know that she has no problem showing off her body and anything like that. So there wasn't really that much of a surprise that she was working as an exotic dancer. But she knows who Dan is, and shocked to see him. But then, present moment, Dan says that their courtship was old fashioned. And then we see another flashback when they slept together, probably the same night they met. And she tells him that wasn't bad for a guy with a bad heart.
Yeah. And he said, spend the night and we'll see if you can kill me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he wasn't joking on that. Yeah. And Rachel says that just cost him a lot.
Well, and
And
he says, I'm rich and I'm dying.
yeah, and Rachel says that works for her. Not even thinking, yeah.
Okay, well, that just shows you what she's interested in. Your money.
Yep.
But Dan doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. And Rachel tells the audience that Dan had all the things she was interested in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Money.
Yeah.
And she thought he was dying. So, like, she could just have his money.
Do you think that that's why she married him, to get that money when he died? Probably.
Yeah, but when she found out he was still living, that's my thing of like, wouldn't you be like, how do I kill him?
I mean, she could get, divorce him and probably still get half unless she signed a, what's it called?
Prenup.
Yeah, but I don't think she probably even did that. But yeah,
Well,
so
I think
she could stay out of it either way.
But I think she is getting a pretty penny as a producer on the show that he has. So it's working in her favor of having a good job and using him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I get to be a producer on this show. So now I can go anywhere basically.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's not working where she was. So she has like leg up, but it's like, like, okay, I'm also okay with the fact that, she is using him because it's Dan Scott, but I don't know. Like, I would just maybe prefer it be not somebody that's their classmate.
Right.
and that have also went after both of his sons.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
Like, to me, that is what's weird. Like, if it was some other 20-some-year-old that he met, fine, go ahead, use them. But the fact that she has too many ties, and we remember the high school years. So it's kind of like, really? Her?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't just find a stranger?
Right. And then we see Skills all geared up to get the animal that's in the apartment, holding a net to catch it. And Jamie has no fear from going to the bedroom or the bathroom, wherever it is. And Skills asks Jamie that, does he want a net or something? But Jamie says he'll be okay. And then, Jamie being curious about everything, he asks Skills why Mouth wants him to move out. So Skills says Mouth just wants to live in an apartment with, him and Millie.
It was funny because Jamie's like, you could move in with Miss Lauren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Skills just, wants to bring their attention back on the animal. And Jamie says he's not so sure they should try getting it. He might need a little more convincing.
Yeah, money.
And then he gives Jamie a turn to convince him. And Jamie says that's enough to catch a mouse or, guinea pig maybe. So Skills gives him more money. And then he says that's more like dragon money. And then Jamie tells Skills to wait outside the room. And Skills tells him to be careful. And Jamie goes into the bathroom while Skills stands a few steps away from the door, ready with the net. And then he comes back out less than, a minute later, holding the lizard and says he named him Percy. Meanwhile, back at Clover Bros, Millie tells Alex she's doing great and asks if she needs anything. Oh, no, that was probably the way around. Oh, no, that's Millie. Yeah, Millie. Millie asks Alex, and Alex just wants more water, for her quote-unquote vitamins. And then the second that Millie's back is turned, she just slips on, another pill into her mouth, so she doesn't need the water. And then back at the photo shoot, they're on the roof of Clover Bros, which I think was a nice place so they could save money, not having to rent out a studio or something like that. And then Quinn gets a call but declines it. So Brooke notices and asks, Quinn, what's wrong? Because she looks like she saw a ghost. And Quinn says, there is. It's husband troubles. And she tells Brooke that her and Julian seem so happy and
turning the attention away from her.
Yeah, and Brooke says they are, but she thinks he's bored and because he just gave up a movie to be with her. And Quinn says she's sure that he's glad that he did that. In her relationship, she thinks part of the problem was knowing what to give up for each other and what to hold on to for themselves.
But here's the thing about that. Like, the person may not resent you right now, but later on they just might.
Yeah, that's what Brooke's right about, yeah.
And I think later on he does.
Right,
because I think she always keeps pulling this, I don't want you to leave. And it's like, well, at some point he's got to.
Right.
Because that's his passion.
Yeah, it's not like you can only make movies in that state or even a city, Like, I mean, if he had a different kind of job in the, entertainment industry, maybe, but he doesn't have that kind of job, so can't compromise like that. And then Nathan tells Haley he's sorry about everything with Renee. And she just says that she wishes there was a way to make it all go away. And Nathan
he tells her, he tells her there isn't what it is. And then she goes right to Clay's house. And says, you want to pay that whore? Oh my God.
Yeah, $200,000. Yeah.
It was funny. He goes, I simply suggested it. It was funny. She's just ripping his head off. It was so good. But I will say, when she goes on to say, that it was his party and he loves, the parties, the women, all of that, having Nathan there. And that he is an adult. I was like, what? Like, so when Clay says he's a grown man, like, he can choose to do what. And I was like, exactly. Like, who needs protection? Like, it is true. He's not a kid. Like, seriously, Haley, you're going off on Clay. When Nathan chose to go to the party, Nathan chose to have clearly more than one drink. How is that Clay's fault? It's not. So you're yelling at the wrong person. So, yeah. So when Clay says, like, you know, so is he, like, you know, I was like, thank you, because she needs to hear it, even though it's not going through her brain yet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, she can be mad about the money part, but, you know. And then Jamie's looking at the lizard in a tank, telling Skills he doesn't think it's fair that Mouse wants him to move out. And Skills is just thinking about the lizard, so he asks Jamie, how can you even look at it? And Jamie said it's cool, Skills said it's gross. And he asks Jamie if he's sure the lizard won't get out, and Jamie says he's sure, and Skills tells Jamie things for seeing things from his point of view, and Jamie tells Skills that he thinks it's, you know, it's his place too.
And then it was funny because he said, like, Jamie's like, you know, so what did he say, you know, when you said that? He's like, no, I didn't say that. It's like, exactly, because your name is on the lease. He can't really just kick you out.
Right.
Also, I just, again, think it's so wrong because, like, your friend does not have a place to stay. You know, that's his house that he feels comfortable in. And you're just going to kick him out?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And then Skills says, Mouth already knows that if he moves out, Lauren is going to want him to move in with her or get a place of their own, and he doesn't need that kind of pressure right now. And Jamie asks Skills, you know, doesn't he like Lauren, Miss Lauren? And
he says he loves her?
Right, yeah.
I was like, what? When?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was missing something.
Yeah, the last time I saw them was at the beach, right? And that didn't go well.
Yeah, I think so.
And then, yeah, so Jamie asks, like, why doesn't he want to be with her then? And Skills tells Jamie that he brought him there to help him catch the little dragon thing, not to give him grief about his commitment issues. So then he asks Jamie, isn't he going to take the lizard home with him? And Jamie says that his name is Percy and he eats bugs. And Skills tells Jamie he caught it so he can keep it. But Jamie says he already has Chester, even though we haven't seen him for a while. And tells Skills that maybe he can trade Percy at the pet store and get something else. And that he should talk to him. He is his friend. And then Clay sits with
I have
him.
a question.
Where
did they get this tank from?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, possibly, Jamie could have told Skills to get one, maybe. So he did from somewhere. I don't know. Because, yeah, they never had a pet there before that would need a tank. If they had, like, fish or something before, then it would make sense why they would still have the tank. But, yeah, I don't know.
Because they don't have a pet. And I can't imagine Skills to be like, let's go buy a tank.
Right. I think fish would be the only thing he could tolerate, yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, to catch this lizard. Like,
I mean, they had the nets. That was it, yeah.
Right, but I can't imagine he would go to the store and buy it just to remove it.
Right, yeah.
Because somehow Mouth got it in.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, or maybe that's where Mouth had it, maybe. Or Skills got the tank from maybe a neighbor, like just to borrow it really quick or something. So who knows? So then Clay sits with Haley on the pier and he tells her he's sorry, you know, everything she said was true. He should have done better by all of them. He's sorry for that. And Haley says they're not paying Renee. And Clay says if that's what she decides, and they won't.
Yeah, but he said that it's not their dream, it's Nathan's dream. He worked hard for it, so he deserves it. But again, then at some point you have to be an adult and you can't put yourself in these positions. You know? Like, oh my God. I just can't with this. Like, if you're going to put yourself in that position, no. You know? It's kind of like when Mouth was hanging out with Gigi too late. You know, and like drinking at work. How's that professional? You got to keep things professional at some point in your life. And if you're going to just keep using them as excuses, then maybe that's not the best job for you. You know, like grow up at some point and don't put yourself in these positions.
Right. And then place says that if paying this woman the money that he makes off of one commercial protects Jamie from all this and keep Nathan's name safe and career safe, and they both get what they've been chasing forever, he thinks it's something they should consider. And then Dan asks Rachel if she believes in redemption in a flashback, and she says she believes in money. And then she
the only thing she's after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she asks if he just hangs out in strip clubs waiting to die, and he says it could be worse, and Rachel says it could be better.
And then she says Lucas's novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then he said it reminds him of who he used to be. And she was like, and I was like, what? I was so confused. Yeah. And she was like, you do know you're the villain.
Yeah.
And then he said, the villain has power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Like, but I literally was like, you really have Lucas's book, and it's it's just funny. Like, do you think he has Lucas's book because he was trying to get redemption? Because remember, he did hold Sawyer.
Maybe, yeah, and just maybe refresh his memory exactly everything that he's done, because he's done a lot.
Yeah, like, because remember, he apologized to Peyton that they will have to tell her about him one day. Mm-hmm. And now he has Lucas's book. It's like he is regretting everything he's done to these people. But again, in their eyes, it's, too long that he is.
Has taken, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, no. But I mean, I guess maybe he's just trying to hold on to something.
Yeah, maybe that's because it's like this. It's his only connection, left
to them.
Yeah.
Well, because remember, when he went to go see Whitey said, maybe you're here for redemption.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I think that was his turning point of, maybe I have to, like, I'm going to hold on to these things of my kids, even though they hate me.
Right. And then Rachel makes a comment about her being in the book too. She's naked at the river port with Lucas. Well, she didn't say Lucas, but.
Do you know what I find weird?
Hmm.
So he literally put Rachel in this book.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough characters in this book already.
Yeah, because that was a whole thing with
Wasn't this supposed to be just about Lucas's life and how he could have made 5 books on this? Because I thought this was supposed to be a love letter to Peyton. Then it turned into it was half about Brooke, but then Nathan and Haley are in it, but then the murder is in it, and I'm so like,
yeah. Well, my thing is that he told. Remember. I'm not drunk. It was Fergie.
Yes, yeah, he told. Yeah, that was where I was going with this. Was he said that he took them out of the book
because it was too many characters. Yeah,
because there's too many people in it. And remember, they said, or he said, "Who did you hang out with?" And he on the river court, he said Skills and Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and puts Rachel in the book. So I was like,
yeah, that's a slap to the face to Fergie.
I know. I saw would not be his friend.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so confused at this whole thing because I'm like, but I'm so confused at this book of his.
Yeah, like what is it?
Like, what exactly is it? It's supposed to have like one story, right? That's what a book is supposed to be about, right?
Yeah.
Somehow it has like so many different versions that we've heard through the years of this book.
Yeah, because isn't it supposed to be fictional? Or a biography or something.
It sounds more like the biography because
yeah,
he's put every single thing of their lives in it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's just weird. Like, if you're going to make this, like, again, he's had so many different versions of it. Mm-hmm. Remember when they said the book was a love letter to Peyton?
Right.
But how could it be a love letter to Peyton if it was supposed to be about his life and it's like him growing up with Keith and Karen?
Yep.
To a murder, to somehow, I'm just so confused because I'm like, Brooke is in. It's weird. So I don't even know how you could even what this is classified under.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should have said there was like a part 2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would make more sense of like you could then add like a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm reading a book and there's all these characters, I think I'd get a headache.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, who in the hell are all these people?
Mm-hmm. But that was gross how Dan said that he had the page of Rachel bookmarked because she was like, what, 16, 17 when this happened?
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, so, she was underage, so that's gross. And that was before he met her here, so. And then she sees the other self-help books that he has, so she asks why he has them. And she goes through all the bestsellers and just says people are lazy, so instead of changing the back, stay by a book.
Well, so he said, they're afraid of dying without leaving their mark on the world. And literally, right when he said that, I was like, but I think you have made a mark on the world, not a very good mark.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Yes, do people leave a mark? Yeah. And again, but it might not be a good mark. Like you could leave a mark on the world and it won't be good. Hello, AK, murderers, rapists. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they left a bad mark on the world. So I mean, so when he says that, I'm like, your little redemption does not mean you're going to leave a good mark on the world.
Right.
Just because that's what you want to change. You've already left one, so now you can die. Then that's literally then what he says of like, he did leave a mark. And I was like, exactly. So why are you talking about leaving a mark on the world? When you did.
Yeah.
He just said, I just can't seem to die. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you say.
And then she seems to feel bad for Dan and asks if he wants to get out of there. And he says he can't, but she says he can. They both can. And he goes to drink more beer, but she stops him and tells him to not
She
drink
needs
it.
them, and she needs them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, for one night.
So was this... I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was the show her idea then?
Probably, yeah.
Like, was this... Like, when she drags him out of there, where in the hell are they going, first of all? Secondly, you know what I mean, to like get the show, unless she knew somebody that could get them the show. But yeah, I'm like, so then was that her idea? So then he stops drinking and pouting, and all of a sudden he has a show now?
Right, and then maybe convinces him to even write that book later on.
Yeah, so I'm like a little confused with that. Like, whose idea was it? Because it starts off with, it seems like this is Dan's idea. He wants redemption. But then in this scene, it kind of looks like it's her idea without saying it's about the show.
Right. Yeah, so I know. And then Julian is making a house of cards when Alex walks over, putting her arms down and making the tower fall apart. And she tells him thanks for the trades. She was going crazy without news from the real world. And Julian tells her this is the real world, and Alex is not for them. But Julian says that's too bad about her last movie falling apart. She was good at it. And Alex just complains about the wig that she had to wear and how her nails kept getting stuck in her hair extensions. That's when her nails get stuck in her hair extensions because she was demonstrating how itchy the wig was, so Julian helps her. She asks then how come he's not working in that new movie in New Zealand, and she makes a comment that she slept with a couple of the actors on it.
And crew members?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah, she's just always sharing that information with anybody,
Yeah.
And then he says he's just looking for something else, and she tells him that she has something else he might like. Of course, trying to tempt him, and she looks at him like, to entice him, and tells him he's cute and everything. But then we go back to the shoe, and Brooke tells Haley that, Quinn is amazing, and that Alex might be actually worth it. And Brooke asks how Haley's doing. Haley says good, but has like a blank stare afterwards. So Brooke sees something's wrong, and Haley admits that she's not good. And Haley's being comforted by Quinn and Brooke after the shoot then, and catches him up and everything. And how everything was going well until she came along. And Brooke tells Haley that she's had tablets about herself, before they lay out the time. And Quinn says people will give Nathan the benefit of the doubt, and she tells Haley she knows that.
Wait,
but
they will?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, isn't that what she said?
Yeah, they said they will, but I'm like,
Yeah, people usually don't. Yeah, they're like,
I'm sorry, but they will not give him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
yeah, they think everything in the magazines and everything is the truth. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're gonna go, oh, look, another rich athlete sleeps with somebody at a party and now won't pay her, or he pays her to keep her quiet, or so I'm like, I mean, remember when years ago there was that whole thing of Justin Bieber?
And
like
about what?
I don't know, that they said that he got someone pregnant and all of this, and I mean, this was years ago, and I'm like it kind of was hard to believe, but I mean, I was never a fan of him in the first place, but I was just like, but everybody was like, oh my God, but he is. And it's like, they weren't giving him the benefit of the doubt that they maybe should have. Because I obviously wasn't true. But yeah, I don't think, especially if you're an athlete, I don't think they're going to give a crap.
And then that's when Alex walks in, making things worse because she says,
maybe he did it.
Yeah.
And then they like look at her and they're like, we need a drink. And then she's like, yeah. And Brooke's like, not you. So then she says, Millicent, which she normally calls her Millie. She's like, come get her. Did you realize she never came and got her? Because Alex sits down and it's not like Millie's around and like goes over to her.
Right. And then Alex told a story about her friend Kimmy of doing the same thing Renee did, but it turns out the guy actually didn't.
Yeah, he gave her. Yeah, he gave her the money, and she got an abortion. I was like, wow. See, at that point, she should have to give the money back.
Yeah. And then
because here's the thing, a lot of those cases, they also chose to sleep with the person, right? So paying them would be like helping them raise the kid, like how much money it costs to raise a kid. But if you're gonna abort a baby, you're not raising the kid. Like, yeah, you can pay for the abortion with the money, but I feel like you'd have to get the money back because, like, you're not raising the kid, and you also chose to sleep with the person. I'm just saying, with her little friend.
Right. And then at the news station, Mark is asked by his boss about a story with Nathan again. The boss says there's nothing going on. And then at Trick, Haley tells Brooke and Quinn the problem with paying Renee isn't the money, but it's what, comes out of it.
Do you know what I find weird? Is that Haley is talking to the two of them in Trick, which, is a bar, and everybody is sitting close, and they're just out there telling the whole damn story. Like, if you're trying to keep this a secret and not get out, like, maybe Renee doesn't need to put it out to the public. All you gotta do is get one person that's at Trick that hears it and they go and sell the story. I'm like, I'm sorry, but like, if you are married to a celebrity, you probably should not be out at a bar, even if you know the person that owns the bar. You probably shouldn't be there freely giving the information to people. I mean, are you making everybody in the bar sign an NDA because you're yapping your mouth about it? No, you're not. So I was literally saying, first of all, you've got the waitress that literally is standing right there giving them their drinks as they're talking about it. You have the people sitting in back of them that can hear. I'm like, y'all are not being quiet about this, and all three of you are chiming in on more detail. And I'm like, why would you go there? Why wouldn't you go somewhere else that's quiet? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got to go get a drink, why don't you go to like Brooke's house or something?
Yeah, or just what Payne's office used to be that room, even in there.
Right. Go get a bottle of wine and take it to the record studio, and voila. Like,
Yeah.
I do not understand this at all. Why they have to do it here,
Right.
in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like Trick is closed down where they would have the whole bar. There's literally people there. So it's like, Renee doesn't even have to do that. All somebody has to do is hear it.
Right.
So yeah, that bothered me because I'm like, you're sitting there telling people like you don't want it to get out and all of this. Well, and you are talking about paying her to shut up, to not say a word. She ain't got to.
Mm-hmm.
You just told how many people. And so I didn't like that part. And then here's the thing. Millie clearly did not hear Brooke or was clearly not around or something because Alex is at the bar. Which means Millie was not watching her when Brooke told her to watch her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from that. I was like, see, she didn't hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Haley stressed that Renee will still tell everybody, the world.
That's what I mean. She ain't got to.
Mm-hmm. Even if she signs NDA, yeah.
No, but Haley just did it.
Yeah. And then Quinn's still confused about the woman claiming she's pregnant and that Nathan is the father when you can prove that more easily today with, tests. And Haley says Nathan didn't do it. And he said he didn't, so she believes him. And then Brooke helps out Quinn by mentioning Renee is just hoping Nathan gives in. She's pregnant, doesn't have money, and she knows Nathan has a lot to lose, so why not take a shot? And she tells Haley to call.
Yeah, they're just all annoying.
Yeah, Renee's bluff and don't pay her a dime. And Haley just doesn't want anything to affect Jamie and Nathan's career. And then Millie, so Millie gets to the bar, because Alex said they told Alex she couldn't go with them, and yet she was still ended up there, which is kind of funny.
Well, that's what I mean. Millie was not watching her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she, it's a good thing that she got there in time because Alex had just ordered some shots for herself.
Yeah. Well, so then Alex tells Millie to drink them because she can't drink, and she'll just have the limes.
But yeah.
So she does. Like, why? Okay. Why would you drink for her?
I don't know.
I would be like, I don't
help her out, I guess.
No.
Yeah, be kind in a way.
But she hates her. So why does she want to help her out?
I don't know. Yeah. Millie didn't really have a reason to do this for her. I don't know.
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not like Millie's going through something that she wants to drink anyways. Yeah.
Right. Because then she said, "Are we drunk yet?" Because she made her drink twice, and she says, "We're buzzed."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you drink 2 shots or whatever. I'm like, well, and she clearly didn't even look like she like that. It tasted good. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, yeah, I need another shot. She literally was like disgusted from the first one. So I'm like, why would you do it again? I'd be like, I don't think so. I did it once, lady. Like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Alex tells Millie to not tell any of the boys that she's sober because if she does anything slutty, she can still blame it on the booze. And she's all thrilled about that and takes off when Millie's left there having 2 shots of tequila that she doesn't even like. And then Haley asks Brooke if the photo shoot went well, and Brooke says it was great. And she says Quinn is good at her job for being a James, and Quinn says that she's forever a James, but also possible Luther James. And she thanks Brooke for saying her look was good, and she says she used to make Haley Bob pose for her all the time. And they laugh, but Haley's still thinking about Renee.
Yeah, so she said that she's going to leave and go talk to Nathan.
Mm-hmm. And Brooke says she should probably get some work done herself. And she asks Quinn if she wants to go with her, but she said she's going to stay there. And Brooke asks if she wants to talk about it, and Quinn says she just wants to think about it. And then Skills is at the apartment and calls him off on the phone while he's at work. He tells him he got him good with the lizard prank, and Mouth acts if he screamed like a little girl, and Skills tells him he didn't. But Mouth was there when Skills did scream, so it wouldn't make sense to ask that,
I know, because he literally laughed when he did it.
Yeah, unless he meant like, did he do it again later? Maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe when he caught the lizard, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So he says he wants to call it a truce so they can talk about it when he gets home. And he says it was something Jamie said. He'll explain to him later. And Nathan is watching Jamie play ball in the pool, and Haley walks up. He asks her how things are going with the situation to Jamie, or how they're going to explain the situation to Jamie. And
where did you say he was?
In playing ball in the pool, like, you know, like I haven't seen this since like since last month. Were they playing in the pool with like a little floaty basket, like basketball basket?
No, Jamie was he was out playing in the yard. He was on the playscape.
Oh, I just wrote it differently. Yeah, like Nathan was in the pool watching Jamie play on the ground, like outside the pool. Is that what it was?
No, Nathan was just standing outside watching him.
Oh.
But the pool, I think, because the pool was in front of him, so maybe that's why.
Oh, maybe I was supposed to say by the pool. Yeah, so Haley tells Nathan maybe they won't have to tell him, and she says that she hates that somebody can do this to him and get away with it. But he's the one who fought as hard as he did to get where he is now, and he's the one who never gave up on himself. So if he wants to make the whole thing go away, then he should do it. And she won't speak of it again. And that trick, Clay gets a drink. We then see Alex is right there again, whining about how she loves tequila, and she used to at least. And Clay says that doesn't go too well with rehab. He's heard about her, and she knows he's the boy that owns a big house on the beach.
And he said, yeah, the boy that rents. I was like, okay. Either way, I'm sure it's expensive.
Yeah. And then she tells him to drink his shot quickly, but the second he does, she kisses him because that's how desperate she is to drink without actually drinking.
I know, because at first it's like, okay, she's going after another guy, but no, she just wants the alcohol.
Yep, and she takes another line and just says she missed that. And he asks the kissing or the drinking, and she just says yes.
And then Quinn is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you're a piece of work. That her sister is in tears and brother-in-law unemployed again. Whose fault is that? That he did it to himself. And she said, and then you're sucking face with dumb girls. I'm like, okay. Mm. But again, why does it matter what Clay does on his off time?
Right, yeah, she shouldn't care.
Yeah. Unless you like him.
Mm-hmm. And then Clay jokes that her husband must be so happy right now, and then says, sorry, that's unfair. He says it's been one of those days. And he asks how she's doing. She says if she was one of his clients, she'd be listed as due today. And he says they aren't they all? And he gets a phone call from Nathan and says he's going to take care of something. And Quinn tells Clay she hopes he knows what he's doing. And then that's when Alex walks up to him and says she can be in his bed in 20 minutes. And he says, make it 30. She then licks the side of his neck, and Quinn is disgusted to find out that Clay is the kind of guy like that.
Yeah, she's like, you're that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I am tonight. As in hooking up.
Mm-hmm. And then Rachel asks Dan what's on his mind at the TV station, and he tells her he's sorry for what happened with the man in the crowd. And that's when, she admits that she hired the guy to do it, and he asks why. Basically, we talked about this earlier, but
yeah. But then she said that it makes good TV. I'm like, wow.
Yep, so anything for views, yep. And so this seems to be the moment when he just realizes that Rachel is only using the story for the show. Doesn't care about his feelings or
him at all.
Yeah. And then Alex shows up at Brooke's and Julian's, and she brings up the time Julian said he was looking for something different. And she tells him she knows what he's thinking, that she's hot, and also thinking the dumb actress just gave him a good script. But it's not stupid, and she's not dumb. Well, maybe she's a little dumb, but she knows a good script when she reads it. So Julian just says he'll take a look at it. And then she mentions that when she had said when she had said that she had something different for him, did you think she meant her? And she, but it doesn't really matter because she says another boy gets her tonight, but he can meet up afterward if he wants. And he laughs and says that's okay, it's good. And then back at Trick, when her phone rings again and she hears someone telling her she should answer it, And when she turns around, she sees a David, and he tells her that she's going to have to talk to him sometime because she's been avoiding him.
That is okay. That's what's so annoying. Like, okay, you don't want to fix anything, right? Like, I could see if you wanted like a little separation to like breathe, figure things out, and go back to him or whatever. But if you truly want to leave the man, like you don't ever want to go back to him, then you need to end it. Like, this is so annoying. Like, it's not even like you're doing this trial separation, to see if this works. You don't miss him. You said you don't care. You basically want to move on. Then do it. Like, I'm so tired of each of these episodes it being about her marriage that, again, I don't care about because we never saw. And I just don't like it. I just end it. Tell him you want to be done and let's move on because I don't care about the storyline.
And then Mouth walks into the apartment where Skills is reading a magazine with Nathan on the back of it for that body spray. And he tells Skills at least he's wearing pants this time. So Skills tells Mouth that if he moves out, Lauren's going to want him to move in with her. And Mouth asks why he loves Lauren. Skills says he knows, but when they first move in together, then she's going to want to get married. And they haven't even talked about that yet. And he's not sure he wants to get married. And it's not that he's not into Lauren, because he is. He's just not sure if he wants to do that yet. And Mouth tells Skills that he should.
So he should just tell her that.
And Skills tells Mouth he should have asked about him moving out, like not just telling him to do so. And Mouth says to Skills that he's a good roommate and friend, and he can stay as long as he wants. And then Mouth lays down in his room, and a snake comes slithering towards him, and Skills can hear him screaming from the living room.
Okay. We know that Skills is not a pet person. I didn't want to say pet. Do you remember when they went to the dare night in season 2? And I swear it was just a steak exhibit. Remember, I was like, this is the only thing that's in here is snakes. And he was terrified, as of course I would be, but like, so he picks that. Like, dude, you weren't even okay with it back when they were in cages. I'm like, so who touched it and brought it home? Because I couldn't imagine Skills, even if he had Jamie with him and Jamie did it, I couldn't imagine Skills being like, I'll drive and you hold the snake.
Right.
I couldn't imagine that because I am equally as terrified as him and probably more terrified. So I'm like, the fact that he, and then it crawls and it's clearly loose. It crawls in the bed. And I'm like, again, how you don't even know, he didn't even know when Mouth was coming home. So it could have been 5 hours later when Mouth comes home the next day. So he's going to, how do you know the snake ain't going to come out into the living room where you're at?
Maybe he made sure it wouldn't get through the door, like blocking the little space underneath the door, maybe.
I was just kind of like, okay. Like, because I'm like, whatever, Skills. Like, you would be terrified of it loose in your house or your apartment or whatever. Like, okay. I was like, I don't really think that would be the most accurate for Skills, I think. Don't you?
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing to say Skills did to Mouth, because I don't believe it. Unless Jamie is in his room going, okay, I just let it loose. Like, otherwise I don't believe it, because Skills would not have put that in his car and he wouldn't have brought it home because he doesn't like snakes. So I was like, you didn't even like the lizard.
Right.
I'm like, dude, no, I can't.
And then Brooke and Millie are looking at the pictures from the photo shoot. And Millie says she didn't expect Alex to be such a mess. And she tells Brooke she's sorry, and Brooke says she is too, but the camera loves her. And then we transition to a sad Alex who's at Clay's beach house waiting for him. Meanwhile, Clay meets with Renee at the same restaurant again, which is kind of surprising.
And again, it's not in a corner booth or anything like that. It is out in the open again. So he's sitting there and he says, this is how much, we're offering to pay. She opens it up. Nothing. There's nothing in there. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he calls her a lying bitch and that they're not going to pay her a dime. And she, did he say that she can go to hell, or she told him? I think it was him telling her.
I don't know. I think it was him telling her, because I think she was just shocked that he wasn't paying.
Yeah, and yeah, she just looks disappointed. And then Nathan tells Haley they talked to Renee, didn't go well. And Haley says it's going to get worse, probably. And Nathan says he should talk to Jamie. So he goes to sit down with Jamie on his swing set to talk to him about this. I do kind of wish we could have
seen it.
Yeah, heard exactly what he said to Jamie. Yeah.
Also, do you find it a little odd that Nathan is the one going and talking to Jamie?
I mean, it is his situation, or do you mean like not both of them?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Because you would be a solid unit. Also, because Nathan doesn't know what to say to Jamie. And whenever any situation has really come up, usually Haley's the one that will talk to Jamie. Because she can find the words to say to him. And, Nathan has not really done that in a way. So I was really surprised that they both didn't go, just because, okay, whether I am like if I'm Haley and I'm still upset with, my husband or whatever your situation is, I still would want to be there to know what the hell he's saying to my son.
Right.
Because then if Jamie comes back and asks Haley questions, at least she can be like, well, your dad said this. Like, remember when Daddy said this or whatever? Like, to kind of be a team, she should at least be there. And maybe they should hold hands or something to like make it seem like they are this unit that cannot be broken. Again, even if you can't stand the person right now, if you're talking to your kid, you probably should do it together and be a unit. Otherwise, this is what it looks like, broken. Because then later on, when Jamie finds the tabloid, it won't be like, because remember, Mommy didn't, like, it could be in his little head of like, well, she didn't come talk to me. Like, you guys didn't tell me together. Kind of seems like it's a divided couple. And it wasn't like, no, my parents would never split. Like, and I didn't get the indication. Well, here I did get the indication. So, yeah, I just think for the safety of him and his mind, they should have went together.
Yeah, I can see Nathan just maybe talking to him the whole time because, he probably wants Jamie to hear it from him and not the tabloid. It would be later, but and just assure him that what Renee says is not true, so he doesn't believe the lies either when he does find out.
Right. But also, like, what if Jamie doesn't understand and he has questions or he gets upset? Like, I'm not saying that's Jamie, but I'm just saying, like, as a kid trying to process what is being said, it's like maybe he wants the comfort of his mom. And if she was sitting right there with them, she could easily comfort him. Right. But instead, she's not. It's just, I just don't like it because I'd be there. Like, so, like, if I had a kid and that was the situation, I would be there. As I think she should have been. But I get, like, okay, and again, I get she's upset at Nathan in this whole situation. But again, be a grown-up and be there for your son. Something that he's telling him a major thing. I mean, y'all have messed with this little kid's head so much over the last couple of years. I think that he should hear it from the both of you. Also, I mean, wasn't that long ago that y'all were getting a divorce that he had to live through? So, I mean, I think that's also where his mind might go, in a little kid's mind. Oh, they're gonna get a divorce again. Like, I just feel like that's what a little kid would think. I mean, hell, that's what I would think. So, yeah, I just don't like it. But yeah, I do wish I would have heard what he said. So for me, the high, probably the photo shoot. I like that Quinn and Brooke are working together because we haven't seen them together. And then the low mouth, still going on about trying to kick Skills out, even though he's on the lease. And also, the other low was, well, I mean, again, this whole Renee crap. What about you?
Yeah, the low was about everything with Renee, and then the high was the scene with Skills and Jamie and the lizard, whatever it was, reptile. That was funny. And then rating.
I'd rate this 8.5. I liked it.
Yeah, I'd say an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. And then who was your best and worst?
The best was Millie, just because she started. I mean, she's always been really babysitting Alex this whole time, but this time in this episode, she started kind of caring for her, with the whole shot thing, and we know later that they're going to get closer and more friend-like. And then the worst is, I mean, Renee is bad too, but I didn't like Alex, how she was trying to flirt with Julian and everything, and, kind of using play because he's on, I mean, she doesn't really know him, but he's not in the best mindset either with everything going on as well. So yeah, and yours?
Mine would be, the best would be Brooke, because she gave Quinn a job because she's unemployed. She likes to give all her friends, her unemployed friends, jobs. Peyton. And I mean, and she's still helping Alex out by letting her work there. And then she was there for Haley. And then the worst, Renee. I just wish she'd go away.
Yeah.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 4, Believe Me, I'm Lying. So that sounds like Renee.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.